Halloween, everyone, and welcome to Inside the Newsroom. Boo! Isn't it getting kind of spooky back here? Can't dress up today for Halloween. That's okay. I wanted to stay professional for you all, but the Halloween vibes, of course, had to stick around. So I guess we're going to have this for a while on this episode. Welcome to Inside the Newsroom. Inside the Newsroom, we bring you the trending stories of the KELOLAND area. And my favorite part is we bring in our newsroom staff members to talk about those trending stories. The same stories that you see every day on our newscasts and online at KELOLAND.com. We're only going to have some spooky vibes here for just a little bit. Even more spooky vibes with this. Listen. That's from my audio board. It's cool. Actually, Scott Mutt and Brian Karstens use that sound effect, and they have been for their show, whether or not, whenever they're talking about the frightening flurries. So if you're interested about a Halloween forecast and what it's going to look like over the weekend, I recommend you watch Whether or Not. That's only on KELOLAND Plus. It's live at 1:30 today, or it's always on demand on our KELOLAND Plus app, which is only available on a Roku, Fire, Apple, and Samsung Smart TV on demand. That's it. But it's all free, so that's the best part. Speaking of things that come up on KELOLAND Plus, besides our shows like Inside the Newsroom or Whether or Not, Sports Zone All Access, today is Friday. And that means you get not only Halloween for a holiday, but you get Boredom Busters. So if you're bored over the weekend and you need something to do, you should watch Boredom Busters today at 5:30 at night only on KELOLAND Plus. Here's a peek at what you could see today. Harry and Byron are like bouncing in their seats right now just to talk to each other. The way you guys came in, we're like, ooh. I'm like in the boys club now. I feel like I'm one of the boys.
There you are.
We've had some great performers over the past years. You probably don't recognize some of the names because you're a little younger.
Thank you.
Yep.
The best part is you get to taste apples and smell the fresh cooking turnovers and donuts.
You were so kind and generous that you brought some for newsroom people, and I want to show it off just a little bit. Ooh, that's beautiful. Yeah, we're gonna have to bite into that later. Okay, what's your dance move? Your go-to dance move?
If you want to dance sometime, you just let me know.
Right now, mine's like this. It's kind of music.
I'm more of a two-stepper, a waltzer, and a polka.
All right, we'll see it then.
All at the same time.
Oh no!
No. It's so much fun on Boredom Busters. So I recommend you all watch that show. Because it's a spooky day, especially if we have frightening flurries come in, as Scott Mutt has been calling it. You can stay inside for Halloween, pass out some candy, eat some candy of your own, and watch some Boredom Busters. Again, that's tonight on KELOLAND Plus at 5:30, but it also airs on Saturday at 8 in the morning, only on KELOLAND Plus, so you can watch it there too. There's just so much going on today. We should get to our trending stories. Let's actually focus on Inside the Newsroom right now. The spooky background's going to go away for a second because we want to get acclimated with our trending stories, right? So coming up after the break, we're looking at one story where Dusty Johnson is frustrated with the shutdown and imposes a nuclear option. Find out more when we come back on Inside the Newsroom. And welcome back to Inside the Newsroom. Americans are watching the Senate in Washington, which has voted 13 times to end the federal government's shutdown, failing each time. Congressman Dusty Johnson stopped by the KELOLAND studio where he spoke with Dan Santella about the shutdown and the growing frustrations with Washington.
If you find the current shutdown aggravating, Republican Representative Dusty Johnson says you're not alone.
What's your message to South Dakotans who are frustrated with this federal government shutdown, Dusty?
Of course, South Dakotans are frustrated with the shutdown. I am too. We should end the shutdown today. The House has voted to end the shutdown. The Senate has tried 13 times to end the shutdown. We just need to end it.
The House of Representatives, where Johnson serves, passed a funding measure last month. Now it's in the Senate, where Republicans have a 53-47 majority. 60 votes are needed to overcome a filibuster. Johnson today strongly came out against changing Senate rules to stop any senator from blocking a bill through a filibuster's debate. Johnson says the so-called nuclear option, quote, would be a strategic blunder of enormous proportions.
I'm glad we've got the filibuster because the filibuster means that those kinds of big decisions, like the size of the Supreme Court and adding a state, can only happen when you've got some common ground consensus.
South Dakotans have long known current Senate Majority Leader John Thune as a relatively mild-mannered, even-keeled figure in Washington. which is why these comments yesterday grabbed attention across the country.
And we've tried to do that 13 times. You voted no 13 times. This isn't a political game. These are real people's lives that we're talking about. And you all have just figured out, 29 days in, that, there might be some consequences.
I feel John Thune's frustration. And frankly, everyday South Dakotans feel John Thune's frustration. Of course, I voted to keep the government open. I think we should be paying out SNAP benefits. And I'm on a bill. I'm a sponsor of a bill that says that even if the government shut down, we should pay SNAP benefits. 42 million Americans should not go without food because the politicians are being irresponsible.
And Dan Santella joins us at the digital desk now to talk more about the story that came out overnight. Dan, when you were preparing for this interview with the congressman, did you anticipate any of his answers or where this conversation would go? How was that atmosphere for these conversations set up yesterday?
Traditionally, John Thune, Mike Rounds, and Dusty Johnson have presented a pretty unified front amongst how they look at different issues. So that Johnson would also be opposed to nuking the filibuster isn't terribly surprising. But I definitely wanted to ask him about it because that's a big question right now. And, we woke up to the news this morning that President Donald Trump is advocating for exactly that. Last week I interviewed Mike Rounds about it. He said, no, this is not something I would support. Johnson said the same. Of course, Johnson's not in the Senate. He's in the House, but nevertheless an elected politician in Washington. So I obviously want to ask about that and the ongoing shutdown. And then we saw that, I've interviewed John Thune several times over the years, and we're very used to hearing from him. Now as a representative, a senator, now Senate Majority Leader, and his comments were anything but typical, as you just saw right there. They were animated, they were emotional, and so I thought it was good to ask Dusty about that. And I was like, hey, did you see the comments from the Senate Majority Leader, John Thune, on the Senate floor yesterday? He said, yeah, I did. Okay, so what do you think about that?
So that was just something that kind of came up throughout the day that you were able to just interview Dusty about? Like, there obviously wasn't any indication that you would know that Thune was going to say that on the floor?
Well, we knew that on Wednesday.
Okay.
So we had known it, but I was chatting with Anna Peters, our executive producer, about, we have a finite amount of time for an interview. What all should I focus on for the story? Do you think? Obviously, the shutdown. Asked him about, the soybean sales as well with China. But want to ask him about the Thune video and the reaction to that. And then the filibuster to me is fascinating because the magic number, because of it, is 60. Of course, the balance of power in the Senate is 53-47, so you need a few from the other side of the aisle. However, should they want to nuke the filibuster, toss it aside, they would only need a simple majority. So the math changes considerably.
Was there anything that you heard from Johnson during your conversation that didn't make it into the video portion of your story, but you think our viewers here should still know about?
Not especially. I asked him about the American attacks on alleged drug smugglers off South America. That aired this morning, and then I put it on the online version in the script. And also the soybean sales. It was interesting how he said, yeah, great, we have this deal with China for a lot of soybeans, but he also cautioned about, I think the phrasing he used was putting too many eggs in the Chinese basket, the importance of having other trading deals and not being too reliant upon, the Chinese government with whom we have politically at times an adversarial relationship, although economically America and China are so tied.
And then what do you hope that viewers take away from a story like this?
These are national politicians making big decisions that impact a lot of people. It's really important for us to report on what Johnson, Thune, and Rounds have to say, our congressional delegation. Obviously everyone's got two senators. We just have the one representative. So we're going to want to hear what he has to say on a variety of issues, and Rounds and Thune as well. And even today when I woke up, I reached out to Thune's office saying, hey, can we like to talk to the senator about, the filibuster, the ongoing shutdown, because, the shutdown started October 1st and now it's Halloween, and what's top of mind for many South Dakotans and Americans is when might this end? And we'll see, but it's not ending yet. And a lot of people are curious about that.
Interested to see if you'll get a response back. But in the meantime, thank you so much for sharing details here at the Digital Desk about your story, Dan. And everyone, stick around. We still have some more to get through for Inside the Newsroom. It might get a little spooky. You'll find out why when we come back on Inside the Newsroom. And welcome back to Inside the Newsroom. A Sioux Falls daycare teamed up with the Good Samaritan Society to bring smiles to both kids and seniors yesterday. Tom Hansen takes us to the early Halloween celebration.
It was a parade of robots, princesses, and dragons at Good Samaritan Society. The residents lined up along the hallway with their bowls of candy, and the kids filled their buckets with treats.
Nice fish, man. How you doing?
Thank you.
The candy's great, but the apples are a hit with this crowd.
Yummy.
And when you're a hungry robot, why wait?
Apple.
What do you got in there?
Oh, it's fun. They were good.
Resident Jeannie Saunders says having the kids come visit brightens the day.
One he looked away and then he went, you got to smile.
School of Early Education owner Chelsea DeYoung admits that getting the kids here is a lot of work. But it's worth it.
It's just really about just sharing the joy and the fun of the holiday with everyone.
Yeah. Do the kids get excited about that?
They do. They get, when are we leaving? When are we leaving? So they get very excited, yes.
For the residents, it's just plain fun.
This means so much for our residents. Every year they look so forward to this. They get so excited. We talk about it for weeks ahead of time. We get our candy ready, and these kids just bring so much joy to the hearts of all the residents here.
The daycare is about 2 blocks away, so it's a natural partnership that has been going on for more than a dozen years.
It brings smiles to the grandmas and grandpas, and it brings smiles to the children.
Happy Halloween!
Well, we have Tom Hansen at the Digital Desk, but also photojournalist Sophie Hall to talk about this really happy story. But first off, I need to ask you two right away. What's it like getting swarmed by princesses, robots, and dinosaurs?
It's really fun. It's always a joy when you can go to a story like this and see like all of the kids dressed up and excited to get candy and dress as their favorite characters.
What about the cameras?
They're just so cute.
I bet they were just like overstimulated by the cameras too, right? They're like, what are you doing?
No.
There was so much going on that they just were so excited to get candy that they actually ignored us for once. It was great.
Yeah.
Whoa, I'm actually surprised by that because usually I feel like when they see cameras, it's like, what is that? Can I press or can I touch? But okay, candy is more important than cameras. That is good to know. But it's so cool, the visuals in the story for me and like all the little laughter moments that you can get out of this story. So what was the game plan between you two of getting those visuals and those little pieces, like the kid who was biting the apple or the dinosaur like roaring in the camera?
That was the plan going in. Sophie and I talked about that, and I said, the key. I've covered this story. This was my third time covering this particular story. So and every year it comes around, I want to do it. So. But that was our plan, was let's get those little moments.
Yeah.
Let's take people there and give them those little moments.
And Tom had the GoPro, so we had a 2-camera shoot kind of, and I just let Tom go with the GoPro, and I just followed the kid with the microphone, and we made it work.
Oh, so kids were mic'd up?
Yes, we had help from the daycare to find us a kid or two to mic up and kind of follow around while they went trick-or-treating.
Yeah.
Apple.
Oh,
yeah. They're like, what do you have in your mouth? That was so good. What is, for you both, what is something special that you take away when you get to do stories like this?
I mean, just having fun with it and trying to make something like this. It's a joyous story. We're going to try and make the vibe of the story more joyous.
Yeah. And it's fun because you're seeing the oldest of us and you're seeing the youngest of us, and you're seeing that merge. And the folks at the home, they love this. They love seeing those little kids. And like she said, they talk about it the day before, and they talk about it the day after.
So, what was your guys' favorite costumes that you saw? I think I have to give it to Dino Kid. I'm not gonna lie.
There was a couple of roomies from K-pop
Oh,
Demon Hunters.
Yep.
I did like the little girl with the purple braid. She had glitter in her hair. She
did kill it.
She was killing it.
Tom, what about you? A favorite? Did you see one that you liked?
Yeah, anything K-pop. No, I don't.
I
I had no idea. Sophie was going, yeah, that was K-pop. I was going, what?
What is that?
And then I did get someone did give me a hard time because I said it was a dragon.
Oh, for the T-Rex?
Yeah.
Oh, come
It was a
on.
T-Rex.
Come on.
There was a dragon there, though.
There were a few.
In my defense.
There were a few dinosaur-esque costumes.
Thank you. Ish.
Well, thank you both for being here at the Digital Desk to share some Halloween fun. And everyone, stick around. We're not done with the Halloween fun just yet. We're going to have some more when we come back after the break. You like that, Scott?
It sounds familiar.
It's getting spooky.
It sounds familiar. Where did you get that? I like the
Take it over.
background.
Yeah, thank you. Jody Staples gave it to me to show off the spooky mood. Since I couldn't dress up, I might as well bring in the spooky atmosphere to the digital desk.
The digital desk?
Yes, with a little...
2. Wow. Twice.
It's
Here.
getting spooky. I'm telling you.
This is my best thing that I can do for you.
Okay, wait. Let's get in on this. What do we got?
Those are spiders and I think fireflies.
Oh, they look like candy corn.
They do from afar, but
afar.
When you get close to them, they're fireflies.
It's so spooky.
Oh my goodness, we could spend a whole half hour just with that sound effect.
I really
So what do you
like
have
the
coming
sound
up?
effect.
What's going on?
What's going on?
That's going on.
Yeah, that's tonight at 5:30. KELOLAND Plus, and then also tomorrow morning 8 o'clock. KELOLAND Plus.
Okay.
Everyone got to see a little preview of Boredom Busters in the beginning of the show. So
Okay.
I hope you are around to see that, Scott, because it's going to be a fun one.
It's always a fun one, whether it's tomorrow's the November 1st or some other Saturday or Sunday that later in the calendar. It's always a fun one on Boredom Busters.
Thank you, Scott.
Right?
You know what? For that, you get brownie points, and we'll have you on pretty soon. How about that?
Boredom Busters?
Yeah.
I think I was on the first one, wasn't I?
You were on.
And never invited back since. What did I do? I mean, the control that Perry has
He was like, we could never do this again.
is unbelievable.
I'll talk to him, okay?
Okay.
I'll put a good word in. It's a spooky episode of Inside the Newsroom now. And one of the things, besides like a spooky background and a spooky tie, is remembering our spooky mistakes that we've made.
Oh, yeah.
So here's some good context about what we're about to get into. I don't even really know how to start explaining this. Do you kind of want to take it away?
Yeah, I mean, it was my idea to do this. But just go ahead and take camera 2.
Okay.
Because then you could maybe see somewhat of the audio board.
Oh, yeah. But they're going to see my green screen.
Okay.
Okay, fine. Just don't look over here.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's done. The background is the same way as the weather's done. But can you see the audio board?
Not really. It's right
Maybe
over
not.
here.
It's right
We
over
have this beautiful audio board.
And it has, special sound effects to it as well. And when we first started this, I was getting all excited. Oh, I could do this. I could do this. I could do this. Different sound effects if I wanted to do it. Oh, listen to this. But unfortunately, when you experiment with different things, then you realize you have to record something. Some things are sometimes left on.
Yeah.
And that's what happened on an episode of Weather in 90.
Yep.
That actually went to the website. So what I did is I learned from my mistakes.
And that's why we call it mistake. And I think it'd be kind of fun to show this spooky mistake that was created, just so you guys get an idea of what we mean. When there's like these sound effects on these boards, because when we record, we actually don't hear what the soundboard is doing until we stop the recording and listen back.
Well,
then we can hear all
We
the
had,
settings.
Headphones on, but
I don't think you can hear the monster voice when you start recording.
oh, I could.
You could? Okay.
Yeah, I didn't
then
have
I'm
the
wrong.
headphones on or the IFB in. But,
Don't listen to me then.
But now
Now
I
he
go
knows.
back and I listen to it. Otherwise, I'll do this again.
I'm meteorologist Scott Munt, and this is Weather in 90.
You love it.
Welcome to the 1st of July. Not the 4th of July, but the 1st of July.
The 1st.
And here's what's going on in weather, as we do have clear skies.
I think
for
Weather
your
in 90 is
Tuesday
improved
morning.
a
That is
little
something
bit
that
since this.
Way. way. Yeah, if this was, what was this, July 1st?
Yeah. Did you understand what I said? It was July.
July 1st.
July 1st, not July 4th. July 1st.
With the spooky voice, I mean.
Yeah, well, that would have been better. But there's also a robot one in there, and I did that mistake too, but I don't think that one went anywhere because I learned and
Did you
listened
send me that
to
one?
it.
No, you didn't.
I don't
send me that
know. I
one.
need to send you that. I did send you one where I did it with.
I have this one.
Oh, boy, remember this? This takes you back. This is probably sometime in July.
From the Storm Center Plus, I'm meteorologist Scott Muntz, joined by meteorologist Brian Karstens. And we got a lot to talk about, Brian. Welcome to July.
It's July already.
It's July already. Here, let's go ahead and bring you up on the split.
Now he's saying it's November already.
Yes, welcome. It is good to be here. You know,
He's got that
Scott, as
great
we
voice.
talked about July, and you mentioned this on the
I
on
need to hear
KELOLAND
you
this
again.
morning, that once you get to the 4th of July, summer goes fast.
That's what I've always told the kids. You know, they look forward. Everybody looks forward to summer vacation.
Hey, it looks like the three of us could be brothers here.
Look like twins. So funny. I love that monster voice. The robot one is pretty good too, but that's a spooky mistake that we make sometimes.
And
you
they
know?
said, hey, you should use that voice on Halloween. No, I did it once.
Yeah,
Made
so
a
that's the
mistake on
thing.
it. So-
Scott's traumatized now.
Yes.
Like, we're not allowed to use that anymore.
And those features on that audio board, I found a way just to gray everything out.
yeah. So now
So that mistake's not made again. But I still go back and listen to it before I put it on air or
See,
online.
Scott puts a lot of thought into recording here at the digital desk, everybody. He really does. Mistakes,
Oh, yeah.
they help you out.
And, you know, the day-to-day mistakes, I still make those. But these major ones like that, no.
The monster voice is crazy.
Can't do that again.
Comparing it
Felt
to
terrible.
hearing Brian is just so hilarious.
Oh, man.
I just enjoy it so much. Well, speaking of all things spooky, there is some more fun going on tonight on KELOLAND Plus. That is the Captain 11 Halloween specials. I've been saying this since Wednesday now, so hopefully everyone has this memorized. But starting tonight at 8 o'clock only on KELOLAND Plus, you can watch 3 specials of Captain 11 Halloween Edition. We're doing generic 1980s ones because we couldn't figure out what the year was for that one. Okay. And then we're doing 1989 and 1991. Yesterday, we watched the 89 one, and we were looking at the costumes. The day before, I think we watched the 80s one, too.
So do you have the 91 set ready to go?
No, dude, we're running out of time. We had to do Monster Voice today. Nice try. If you want to see the 91 one, you got to watch on KELOLAND Plus.
I'll have to do that tonight starting at
8 o'clock. And it goes all the way till 9:30, so there's plenty of time to watch. If you need to sit down, stay inside, because we're going to have the frightening flurries.
You know, and some of this stuff I taught you. A lot of the stuff you taught me, but some of the stuff I taught you, and one of them was that ghostly boo.
I now learned that.
And you've already used that more than I've used it.
I got to give you this background. Yeah, you're right, actually. I think I have used the boo quite a bit. All right, well, that's all the time that we have for Inside the Newsroom. Happy Halloween, everybody.
Yeah.
Enjoy your weekend. Make sure you watch Boredom Busters if you're bored. And once again, the Captain 11 Halloween special starting tonight, only on KELOLAND Plus. Until next time, have a great weekend, everyone. Scott, do the wave.
Is it time for the wave?
Do the wave.
There we go.